Hi, this is Shweta Gupta and I welcome you to my channel Twinklingphonics, and please do watch the video till the end. The I as a word. Now you are taking a text in which the letter I is not acting as a letter, but it is acting as a word. So you might be knowing that whenever we have the letter I, which denotes me, मुझे denote करता है, then it acts as a word, not as a letter. So I here, if you can see, it is not getting used as a letter, but it is used to denote somebody, the first person, right? Me, it is denoting me, it is acting as a word, and that is why here again it will come in the capital letter. Similarly, now the common nouns, now this is really important, which you might have not noticed earlier. So let us see here. Now suppose I'm talking about mom and I'm talking about dad, right? I'm talking about my brother. I'm talking about any person which actually as a word is a common noun. Like mother, father, brother, sister, these are the common nouns. But whenever you use these words so that you are actually talking to that person and you are using the word as a proper noun, then also they will start with the capital letter. Now see here, let's go to the park, dad. So the child is actually talking to the dad and the child is asking the dad or talking to the dad. That means dad is standing in front of the child, right? And the child is asking the dad to go to the park. So here the dad is acting as a proper noun, and that is why D will become the capital, right? Similarly, mom, give me food. So you are actually talking to your mom, and that is why you are taking that person as the proper noun. So here mom word is not the common noun, it will become the proper noun, and that is why M will become the capital letter. Now if you are saying something to your friend about your mom or dad, like my mom is best, my mom gives me food. So you're not talking to your mom, but you are telling something about your mom to your friend, right? So here mom is not the proper noun. Once you're talking directly to your mom, to your dad, to your brother, to your sister, then only they will become the proper noun. Like your grandfather is standing in front of you and you're asking, Grandpa, could you please lend me 10 rupees? So you are talking directly with your grandpa. Here grandpa will always start with the capital G. But if I say my grandpa is a very active person, so you're not talking to grandpa, but you're talking about grandpa, and that is why here grandpa will not start with the capital letter. So this is a very big grammatical mistake that people do, that grandpa, it will always be a common noun. No, not at all. Whenever you are talking to a person, if you're talking to your brother, could you please drop me at the school? So here you're talking to your brother, so B will become capital. But as soon as I say my brother drops me at school, so here brother will never start with the capital letter, because here you're not talking to your brother, but here brother is acting as a common noun. Here you are telling something about your brother, but you're not talking directly to your brother. So है ना ये इंटरेस्टिंग रूल? इज दिस इंटरेस्टिंग और नॉट? आई सपोज ये तो आपको नहीं पता होगा, सो प्लीज वीडियो में एंड तक बने रहिएगा, क्योंकि आपको ऐसी ही अब बहुत सारी रोचक जानकारी मिलने वाली है और ऐसे रूल्स में डिस्कस करने वाली हूं जो शायद आपने पहले कभी ना सुने हो। जैसा मैंने आपको बोला था कि शुरू के 3-4 रूल्स आपको पता होंगे, बट after 9th, 10th rule, you might not be knowing all these capitalization rules. So stay awake, just be connected till the end. So let us proceed further with the next rule. Days, months and holidays. So last Friday, now here L is capital because the sentence is beginning. Friday because it is the name of the day. On Christmas, now Christmas is the holiday. right? And that is why it is the national holiday you can consider, or the name of the festival. Therefore, it starts with the capital C. December starts with a capital C. Why? Because December is the name of a month. I, you know very well, now here I is not acting as a letter, but it is acting as a word. Therefore, it will become the proper noun, or it will become the capital letter. Went to a mall. So here can you see, last Friday on Christmas in December, I went to a mall, right? So this is how you are going to actually notice that where you are going to put the capital letters. So if it is a day, if it is a month, or if it is a holiday, it is a festival, it will always be written in the capital letter. The first letter will be written in the capital letter. Let us proceed further. Abbreviations. Abbreviations means, in a layman language, we call them as short forms. So IAS stands for Indian Administrative Service. So we write it as IAS. Similarly, B.SC, Bachelor of Science. Some people write BSc at B.SC. That means B will become Bachelor, S becomes Science. Then what is C? Means this is a wrong way to write it. C is never capital because SC denotes science, Bachelor of Science. PA, Personal Assistant. What is this? Personal Assistant. So whenever you are talking about the abbreviations, then also we make use of the capital letters. Let us proceed further to the 13th rule. Now this is really important. Title case. Now some title of the book is there, any heading is there, or whenever you are authoring a book and you need to give it a big title, there is always a question, what all words will start with the capital letter? Now this is for you. Now see, once upon a story. So the first letter will always start with a capital, right? All the articles will never start with a capital. Noun, verb, adjective and adverbs are capitalized. But the conjunctions, prepositions and the articles are never capitalized. If your title is starting with articles, prepositions or conjunctions, then only they will begin with the capital letter. Like an ant with stings. So here an is the article, right? That is why it is starting with the capital letter. And why it is starting with the capital letter? Because the whole title starts with an. But if an is there in between the title, it will never be capitalized. The first letter will never be capitalized. Complete guide to phonics. So C is going to be capital, G is going to be capital and P is going to be capital. But 2 is never going to be capital. Right? Because it may be a preposition, it could be a conjunction, it could be the article. So if preposition, conjunction or articles, they are coming in between the title, then they will never get capitalized. But if your title starts with any of these prepositions, conjunctions or articles, then only they will get capitalized. I hope this video is giving you the value and you are gaining a lot of knowledge regarding the capital letters. Let us proceed further. Now, the people titles. Now, we give title to the people also, like Mr., Miss, Master, Doctor, Professor and all that. Right? Sir, ma'am. Now, whenever you are using the titles, then also the first letter will start with the capital letter, like Mr., Mrs., Professor, Doctor, or Sir, or any other title that you are giving to the people. Then always it will start with the capital letter. Right. Next. Origin. Now, if you're talking about the origin of any person, place, thing or anything in this world, you're talking about the origin, like you're talking about pizza. Then pizza could be Italian pizza, it could be Chinese pizza, it could be Indian pizza also, right? So whenever you are talking about the origin, then also it will start with the capital letter, like Indian. Now what is Indian? Indian is the origin of Ram, and that is why it will start with the capital letter. I like Italian pizza. So Italian has to start with I. It will never start with a smaller letter because this is telling you about the origin. So whenever you are talking about the origin of any person, place, animal, thing, food, vegetables, anything, then always it will start with the capital letter. Okay, now the 16th one and the very important one. Any course name. Now sometimes what happens is I may pursue maths as my course subject. I may be doing graduation in maths. I may be doing my PhD in maths. So whenever any subject is acting as a course, then it will be written in capitals, right? Like I pursue maths as my thesis subject. So here maths will be in capital starting. But if I say I gave the examination of maths in 10th standard, now I am talking about a subject here. So whenever you are talking about a subject, it will always be written in the smaller letters. Yes, this is the mistake that we do in the schools. We always tell them that whatever subjects you are using, always write it in capital. No, my dear. If your subject is a language, if you are learning English, it will always be capital. If your subject is a language, then it will be capital, like Hindi, like English, like French. So if you are talking about that subject which is a language too, then it will always start with the capital letter. But if you're pursuing any subject which is not a language, like graphology, maths, science, psychology, geography, these are not the language, but these are the subject, course subject. So they will not start with the capital letters. Like I love to learn geography. So tell me, will you give it a capital letter in geography? No, this will be a grammatical mistake. But if I say I love to read English, now English is a subject also and English is a language also. That is why we will always capitalize the letter E of English. I hope this is clear to you. Now see, I love doing algebra in school. So am I talking about a subject or am I talking about a course? I am talking about a subject, right? It is in the school. So I am talking about the subject. I am not talking about the course, graduating course or the post-graduation course. I am not talking about that. So that is why this A will never be capital. But if I am talking about the course, like I am doing graduation in algebra. So my subject, my course is there. It is not only the subject, it is my course. The whole course name is algebra and that is why it will be capital. If your subject is a regular language, Hindi, English, Marathi, Telugu, French, Spanish, whatever it is, you are actually reading that as a subject, but it is a language too, then only the first letter will be capital. Let us see further. So any language, be it French, be it English, or maybe any other language, that will always start with the capital letter. Like I love doing math. What do you think? Is this a subject? Is it a course? Or is it a language? I love doing maths. Now this is not the graduating course. It is actually the subject that I love, and that is why M will never be capital. What we do in schools is we actually commit mistake by writing capital M here. So I love doing maths means you are talking about a course of your graduation, or maybe you are doing some thesis on it. No, not at all. I love speaking French and English. Now here you are talking about a language. If you're talking about a language, the first letter always has to be capital, right? Henna easy? Now you know very well, library, that's a common noun, right? So you will never capitalize it. Like I'm going to read book in library, you'll never capitalize L. But if you are going to use the name of the library, L will be capitalized. Now see here, I am going to hospital. Hospital is a place. H, the letter H will never get capitalized. But if I write here, I am going to Apollo Hospital. Now Apollo mein A is capital, but Apollo Hospital, that means hospital also will be capital. So please remember this. If you are using a place which doesn't have a name, you are not mentioning the name, it will be in the smaller letter. But if you are using a name, the name of the hospital, then H will also become the capital letter, like here, Apollo Hospital. Kids are going to library. Here we don't have the name of the library, therefore the letter L is okay in its smaller format. But if I'm talking about XYZ library, I'm talking about any particular library, then this L will also get capitalized. If I say I'm going to my office, so office, I have not mentioned the name, it will be written like this. But if I'm saying I'm going to my ABC office, right? So I am using a name here, and that is why office also will start with the capital letter. So if your place doesn't have a name in your sentence, please give it a smaller letter. But if your place is also mentioning the name of the place, then please start this word also in the capital letter. Right. Okay. The name of the language, as I discussed, that I speak Hindi, English and Spanish. So whenever you're talking about the language that you speak, the native language that you speak, then also it will be written in the capital letters. Now see, there are more than 18 uses of capitalization. But how many we teach children? Proper nouns start with the capital letters and the sentence begins with the capital letter. That is how we teach, and that is why the kids have problem while writing the text, while actually writing a creative format. Whenever they are going into the competitions, they commit such mistakes because they don't know all the rules of the capitalization. So I request all the parents and the teachers, please explain all these rules to the children because these are damn important. So if you also like my video and if you think that you have learned something very important today, please like, subscribe and share. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it today. And yes, please press the bell icon also.